Good afternoon. We will have an exciting afternoon ahead with the solar eclipse taking place, as Mr. Lynch just mentioned, around 3:30. Starting around 3 and peaked at 3:30. It will be 20 years before the contiguous United States gets another total solar eclipse for August 2044 it's scheduled. So it is a historic day today. We will hear from 6 seniors at chapel today. We'll have another group of senior speakers next Monday. I know we have many athletic contests this week, even today, with some teams headed out and a home game here as well. And we are looking forward to Saturday night's guitar show at the end of the week. Thank you for your collective help with our admissions revisits last week. I think they were very representative of our community spirit and strength, and we have a talented, super excited group set to join us in the coming months. So thank you, and I'll report more details next week, but the yield looks very favorable. We will begin today with Robin, and when Najik concludes, you will be dismissed. Robin.
So just before I start, I want to say that solar eclipse, definitely go to see it, but do not look right into the sun, it's going to burn your eyes. So, hi, I'm Robin Su. I'm a 4-year senior from Shanghai, China. So as I sat down to write this senior speech, I kept myself reflecting on these past 4 years, pondering about a topic I should talk about. A lot of things happened. First we had COVID, and we sure did that we learned a lot from the internet in these years, either about the internet or on the internet. And when COVID was gone, we were back at campus. The internet's still there. The internet, the magic internet. Isn't it fantastic? With the world at our fingertips, through our phone, we're immersed in endless information, news, entertainment. Many of us often find ourselves drawn to the abyss of TikTok, Netflix, or gaming, struggling to tear away from these distractions and hit the bed before 11 o'clock. Actually, I think many of us right now, at this very moment, are struggling with the phone right now. I can see that. And personally, I am the victim of the internet myself. Once, I always pushed away the homework until the last minute because of the games, the videos, or to chat with my friends. The cycle just repeats itself. Another more round of games, another episode, another more message with a friend, or another more TikTok video. Well, it's only 30 seconds of a TikTok video. Why would it bother? And next thing I notice, it's already 9 o'clock. So it is a battle against procrastination and distractions when I've struggled throughout the whole high school. So let me share a glimpse of myself freshman year. That was when I was in China. Class starts at 9:30 p.m. and ran until 3 a.m. And I developed a habit of leaving homework after dinner, submitting assignments minute before deadline. Even though I somehow managed to get through my freshman year, it was a tough and stressful way to live. Procrastination became a regular thing for me. During the final week, when I got half a dozen of projects and tests, I had to sacrifice hours to get sleep and get my work done. And realizing the need for change, I embarked on a journey to overcome the procrastination. I tried various methods, from setting alarms to implementing the 5-minute rule, which is something I saw on the internet, that it means I need to force myself to do something that's worse than homework. And then when I start to do homework, I can get used to it and won't get bothered by other stuff. Yet, nothing sticks. Even if the reason that I picked my phone was to use calculator or just to search something on the internet, my finger would just hit another app or hit TikTok or hit any other thing. It just can't get to the thing I want. And before I know it, the time passed. It wasn't until a piece of advice from Mr. Pence during my sophomore history class that hit me. So when you set an alarm clock on your phone, make sure it's at the maximum volume, and put the phone on the other side of the room, so you must get out of your bed to turn on your alarm. And that's how you should get up. It's simple yet effective strategy of placing my phone out of reach forced me to confront my tendency to reach for these distractions. By creating barriers between myself and my phone, I gradually regained the control over my focus and productivity. Now, even if my phone is within reach, I can continue working without being tempted to check it for the entire hour. So, if you're facing problems like procrastination, I would suggest you to try this method. It definitely helps, although it might hurt in the beginning. And also, if you're getting tardies from not getting up on time, Mr. Penn's method definitely works. The only thing that it might get a little too noisy, that it might hurt one or two roommates, but others should be fine. Moreover, communicate with the faculties is extremely important, whether with your teachers or advisors. Like Mr. Ken said in his speech on 50th night, Suffield Academy is the most harmonious group in my life. All faculties here is incredibly helpful and caring, which I haven't seen at other places. Thus, before I complete my speech, I'd like to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude to the faculties and my friends who have helped and guided me over these 4 years. Ms. Yeager and Mr. Bullock, for being my advisor and helped me with problems I met on campus. Mr. Pent, for being my teacher in both my sophomore year and senior year. Your critical thinking skills helped me a lot, and I'm still using your essay template. Ms. Polly and Mrs. Lincoln, I can always learn new knowledge in your classroom, and this knowledge can always refresh my understanding of the world. Mr. C and Mrs. Urkel, who lead me to become one of the best rugby players on campus and the state. Mr. Johnson, I can always feel relaxed when talking with you or taking a class on busy school days. Mr. P and Mr. Gallows, although he's not here and taking his vacation, your help in JASLab really improved my drum skills. And Mr. Carroll, Ms. Henley, Math Club won't be what it is now without you. All my peers who helped me on my journey, and finally, you guys. I mean every one of you, for improving the campus and making Suffield Academy a better place. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I received a lot of suggestions from you guys about this speech. Someone begged that I should wear a suit with vest on, so I did. And my roommate Robbie right there, as a friend, he said he sincerely suggests that I should give this speech with some weird accent. So, to get your attention, I mean. But, so as you guys can see, we're no longer friends anymore. For people who don't know me, I'm somehow good at math and physics, just somehow. I play guitar for a rock band. I mean, I couldn't recall how many times I got put aside by a random stranger asking if I'm doing a performance tour around Suffield. And I got too tired of those questions, so I just left them with the word yes and a signature which they think worth a lot. But for people who do know me, please keep your voice quiet so I can give this speech with some level of authenticity. I mean, so yeah, I don't want to talk too much about myself. Otherwise, some random people, like one of my younger brother, Jerry Bubba, right there, like he'll just giggle and giggle, murmuring that, nah, this is not you. You're a liar. So I just want to share 2 stories that I have been through over these years at Suffield. Okay. So if I need to pick a person that impresses me at Suffield, our Mr. Glorious Pence is definitely on top of that list. Like, despite the fact that I only spent a year with him, his voice that is always full of energy, his handwriting that is, well, occasionally takes me some seconds to decipher what that means, and his quizzes and tests that can always pull me off back during the middle of study hall. I still remember, like, there's a random morning, like, I heard a scream across my room, and my roommate right there, staring at me desperately, saying that I dreamed that I had 30% on his quiz. And it didn't even take me a second to guess whose quiz that is. Okay. I won't continue like this, otherwise it'll just constantly remind me that I have another test on Saturday. Let's shift our focus right now. Talk something light, shall we? So, at the start of my junior year, I have a choice to make. I can stay with cross country, but I have to make the toughest decision and join our greatest athletic team we ever have at Suffield. Soccer fourth, led by Mr. Yuan and Mr. Cross. Shout out to them, by the way. But sorry, Mr. Murray and Sir Pep. I mean, the marginal utility of joining that team is just greater than the marginal cost of foregoing yours. I'm sorry. But if you guys are unfamiliar with those terms, I will wholeheartedly suggest you to take Mr. Pen's AP Command class. The first lesson that I learned in Software 4 is don't take any risk. As Mr. Crosser bumped into my chest and led me to the training room for that 3 days. After a few days, I got back to the field, and Mr. Merck, who I suspect that is trying to assassinate me for quitting his team, decided to play with us. And a few minutes into the play, we had a perfect head-on collision, fighting for a soccer ball. Ouch! Another week to the training room. The changing momentum that I have experienced during the collision is something I'd rather stay away from the rest of my life. Oh, if you're unfamiliar with momentum, I will again wholeheartedly suggest you to join Ms. Powell's AP Physics. By then, the training room at Health Center had become my second home. After another 2 weeks at the training room procuring my muscle tear from that collision, I was clear to get back, yet the team was full of injuries and the game's coming up. I knew there's a chance that if I push myself to the limit again, I may tear that muscle again. But seeing my teammates getting fatigued during this crucial game, I couldn't myself but join in. I need to help them out playing. I step on the field and try to give them some necessary time for rest, and try to forget the tension in my side. And when I saw my teammates come up to sum me out with their energy in their eyes, I knew I've done all I could. And the victory we had just served my point. So the lesson I learned has changed. Facing a decision, don't be frightened by this risk. Because once you finally break the layers of thick ice, all that awaits you is sunshine. I'm Hao Yu, a 4-year senior from Xi'an, China. Have a lovely rest of your day.
My name is Tom Behrens, and I'm a postgrad from Cambridge, Massachusetts. Originally, I didn't think I wanted to do another year of high school. I thought I just wanted to go to college. But in hindsight, I was immature, and that's something I think that Suffield has really helped me with over the course of this year. Though it wouldn't have been a good experience, or a great experience, without my advisor, Mr. Vandervoort, he's up there. Back there. Coach Sagan, and of course all the other postgrads. Really, this wouldn't have happened without you guys. So thank you all very much. You know, even though I wasn't sure how postgrad year would turn out, I think that these people and the experiences I've had here at Suffield has really made it worth it for me. Thank you. Thank you all.
Hello Suffield, my name is Jerry Chen, and I'm a 4-year senior from Beijing, China. For those who are frequent visitors to Suffield's musical events, you may recognize me as the one to carry the gilded brass tuba in the jazz band. Listening to some of the seniors performing their instruments during chapel speech when I was a sophomore, I had anticipated myself playing the Flight of the Bumblebee on the tuba for my own senior speech, but unfortunately the plan was more difficult than I had expected. So I stand here before you today to talk about my story tuba behind the stage. Like many of you were surprised by the size of the tuba, it's precisely what led me to pick it in the first place. Before playing the tuba, I tried other instruments, piano, drum, clarinet. But upon seeing the tuba, I was immediately drawn to the shiny book weighing some 40+ pounds. And frankly, simply carrying on the instrument around the campus earned me more attention than what I had performed on stage when I first began to play in middle school. As a tubist, I love with passion the deep, rich sound that travels through that absurdly large mouthpiece, the power conveyed through its oblong maze of rotary valves to eventually escape from that bell-shaped end. Yet when the fresh experiences of playing the tuba faded away, I began to actually feel the true weight of playing the tuba, not physically, but mentally. Despite its size, the tuba's role is to establish the background rather than the foreground of the music. So I took the role of playing the bass of the orchestral brass section to highlight my fellow bandmates. most of the times. On stage, I'm thrilled by the flawless beat that the band and I created together, but at the end of the day, I always felt as though my parts were boring, monotonous, or even insignificant to the music as a whole. This kind of feeling lasted until the spring of 2023, when Mr. Gottlos organized a temporary rest section to perform during Mr. Lo's memorial celebration. Although I've never personally taken one of Mr. Lo's classes, I was nonetheless deeply moved as I learned the influence that Mr. Lo has had on the Suffolk community and beyond. Listening to eulogies from family members to Wall Street stockbrokers, I gradually realized the importance of someone who takes on the role of a tuba in reality, someone who works tirelessly behind the scenes to help thousands of students achieve their full potential. Like music, the best melodies are only produced when different instruments are assembled together in harmonious unity. This requires some musicians to willingly sacrifice the spotlight for others to shine through. After all, the world operates in much the same way. In the meantime, I encourage you all to look for people who may appear insignificant but nonetheless play a pivotal part in your life. Perhaps it's your friend for whose company you take for granted, or others like Ms. Nair or Mrs. Goodwin who are always there to assist the students. I also want to take this opportunity to thank some of the people who have tirelessly supported me throughout my years at Suffield and have left me with immeasurable impact. I want to say thank you to my friend Eric Ding for being a great companion throughout my boarding life at Suffield. I am constantly humbled by your optimism and positive outlook on life, even in the presence of adversity. To Mr. Vandervoort, Mr. Gottwald, Mr. Papadopoulos, Mr. and Mrs. Pence, I'm grateful for your valuable lessons and guidance. You have all inspired me to achieve the best version of myself, while also teaching me to enjoy the journey along the way. Last but not least, I express my deepest gratitude for my parents, who have always trusted me and offered me unlimited support. Dad, thank you for teaching me to always look for the heart of matters and to stand my ground. Mom, thank you for being the warmest person I've ever known. Your altruism and kindness will always motivate me to become someone just like you. Thank you all, and wish you a great afternoon.
Hello Suffield, my name is Mei Yi Chen, a four-year senior from Beijing, China. Dance has been the activity that I have engaged with the most during my sports seasons at Suffield. However, something many people do not know about me is that I used to be a cheerleader. Back at elementary school, I was tall, so I would be the base to support the flyer who would stand on my shoulder, or the spotter who stood at the back to keep the flyer feeling balanced. Despite that, I was never chosen to be the flyer, never getting the feeling of being thrown up in the air or being recognized by audiences at first glance. Until I arrived at Suffield, I was always in the background, but my involvement in dance shows helped me to find my own spotlight. My first time standing on stage by myself was in sophomore year during a Chinese fan dance. With people being curious of what I'm planning on doing next year, I made a huge step to enter a dance field I've never done before in junior year, which is K-pop. Thank you to Sophia Kim from class of 2023 who gave me the courage to make this attempt, although my body was shaking when the curtain was closing before entering on stage, just like right now. This senior year, I was able to achieve another goal of mine, which is to bring out the combination of dance and Chinese opera and create a storyline showing the rise and fall of the Tang Dynasty. I'm also very grateful to meet my dance partner, shout out to Hana, accepting my invitation to collaborate one last dance as a field together as a duet. Before sending out my demo choreography, I had imagined 5 different ways that Hana would refuse me gently. Thank you to those great groups of audience that had come to the dance show and said encouraging things to me and cheered for me. As a dancer, the best thing that I liked is seeing and hearing how much you liked a performance. All of those accomplishments in my dance journey at Suffield could never have been achieved without one person, which is Mr. Dugan. I'm very thankful for all of the help and support and the lighting adjustments that you had done for the stage effects. You're the person who brought out that beam of spotlight to me on stage. With that beam of spotlight, I gain more recognitions from people around me, and I feel more comfortable to share different aspects of me in and out of the classroom and in my future college journey. To those of you who might consider joining the dance program next year after watching the dance show, I strongly encourage you to come out of your comfort zone and give it a try. Try choreographing pieces with different people, because you will end up making really good friends, which you could have never imagined. My dance experience at Suffield brought me friendships that I don't think I would have made otherwise, and brought me much closer to those I already had. I want to thank my advisor, Ms. Lloyd, for everything, including always being there to check on me and editing this chapel speech for me. And my college counselors, Ms. Shou and Ms. Chen, for helping me throughout my college application process. Thank you to my friends, Noreen, Claire, Sean, Ali, Seamus, Christian, Chastity, Hannah, and Wendy. It is my pleasure getting to meet you guys at Suffield. Each and every one of you made my Suffield experience unique and memorable. Lastly, I want to thank my parents in Chinese. 爸爸妈妈，谢谢你们一直以来支持我做的决定，并给了我机会来 Suffield 上学。我爱你们。Thank you for listening, and have a great day, Suffield.
I'm shocked. I would like to thank Allah, the Most High, for my life, yours, and my family. Female empowerment is a powerful thing. I have been able to witness this firsthand in the United States, coaching alongside star female athletes Mia Hamm, Kristen Lilly, and Tisha Venturini. However, in Cote d'Ivoire, it is rare to see women in power. I was fortunate to grow up with a strong woman by my side. My mother, Akodo, my role model. My mother taught me patience, love, kindness, discipline, commitment, and the power of family. My mother was the exact definition of a superwoman. She never gave up on the family, no matter the situation. To my benefit, I became an absolute replica of her. I was inspired by my mother's hard work, determination, and a love for human beings. She taught me to embrace those things about myself, so I did. Often, I think back to the precious moments I cherished most with my mother. I love to make fun of her every time she struggled to speak French. I love to tell her about my future, the dream of taking her to France and watch Paris Saint-Germain women play soccer. I love to talk to her about women competing in sports just like men, and that she will listen closely with an understanding that soccer was my passion in life. My mother was this tiny light of confidence, and to this day, I am reminded of the incredible love she had for me and for my family. I'm sorry. May 26, 2022 marks the day my beautiful mother passed away. And as if that wasn't enough, a few months later, I lost my older sister, along with an unborn child. Then, on January 25th, 2024, I lost one of my closest white children friends, Louisa Isman. My entire world shut down. Everything in the world that once known became blurry. The people I cherished the most started being taken away from me. I could no longer tell them how much I loved them. They left without saying goodbye. Every time I think about them, I am reminded of them, the significant impact they had on my life. I grieved 3 different times. Did this affect me mentally? Yes, it did. Am I okay now? Only God knows. Unfortunately, now is not the time for pity. I am sharing this piece of my life with you because I know some people in here or out there have gone through something similar. That is why, in my hardship, I knew I wasn't alone. I got a deeper understanding of the saying, everything happens for a reason. I knew I needed to find strength and move forward with my life. I am thankful for my siblings, father, friends, and the school for being a great support system. I wouldn't have made it this far without you all. The loss of my mother, older sister, and my friend Louisa made me stronger and brought me even closer to my family and some friends. I am now even more prepared for life and the challenges I will inevitably encounter, all thanks to the legacy and love they left behind. You know, I wouldn't close this chapel speech without saying thank you to some people. Mrs. Namans, Mrs. Warren, Ms. Beck, Mr. and Mrs. Killen, Coach Selin, Genasu, Ms. Longo, the Health Center, thank you. Thank you for being a great support system. Thank you for helping me when I needed help. To Mr. Golden, you are one of the best teachers I have had the privilege of being taught by. I thank God I was able to witness the kind of teacher and person you are. I love you, Mr. Golden. Mr. Warren, my soccer person. We have so much in common, and you know it. Thank you for everything you've done for me. Mind you, I'm strongly aware of what you've done for me. But one thing I know for sure is it will be hard to forget you. Mrs. Schultz, who suddenly left. I hope you're watching this. Thank you for lighting up my college process. When I felt like I was in the dark, you pulled me out and showed me the brighter side of the process. You made it easy for the both of us, and I felt so comfortable around you. I wish you and your family the best in life. To Mr. Khan, you will always be behind the scenes, making sure things look good for me. Thank you for connecting me with people I have never imagined I would ever connect with. And thank you for opening the doors of this school to all the right dream student athletes, Michael, Diana, Josie, and I. To Coach Sullivan, thank you for bringing out the leader in me. Thank you for making me a left-side champion. And thank you for helping me on and off the field. To Mr. and Mrs. Patterson, you guys are my second family at this point. From day one, from the first day you met me till today, you never took your eyes off me. My life at Suffield wouldn't have been what it is today without you guys in it. I am extremely grateful that I was able to share a piece of me with you, and this is surely not the end. To the Right Children program and the entire team, I want to thank you for this incredible opportunity. I wouldn't have been this player and person today without your sacrifices. For that, I am forever grateful. To Yaps, Josie, and Princess, from friendship to sisterhood. You guys in my life is one of the greatest blessings God has given me. I wouldn't trade you guys for anything in the world. Merci, mes yeux ici. To Kivana Bennett Money. Thank you for being my roommate, my friend, and the sister I lost a few years ago. From day one, you opened your doors and your heart to me, and I immediately felt like I belonged here. But most importantly, thank you for always being you. You're my G for life. Mrs. Lopez, thank you for everything you've done for me. I know what you've done for me, and I can thank you enough. To my host family, Mr. and Mrs. Kylie, Tess, Devin, and Reese. Thank you for being home, far away from home. Thank you for representing a family figure I never knew I needed. Thank you for being the greatest blessing in my life. You all are truly what angels are made of. I am sincerely grateful than word can express. Thank you for the unselfish, loving heart that you all have. Thank you for the kind hearts and for being the wonderful, amazing family that you are. I am blessed to have you in my life. I couldn't have truly asked for a better host family than you guys. Forever in my heart. And a couple of shout outs to Devin, Regan Silva, Melissa, Danny, Zuri, Chastity Craig, my soccer teammates, and to all the freshman girls I lived with in coaching during my junior year. Thank you guys. To Michael, Diana, and Josie. Good luck, guys. You are going to do great here. People love you. I mean it. But remember, you are representing a whole generation. Be aware of that. Do not ever forget where you come from. Be on the look, because people are watching. Hi, Sahib. My name is Meiti Naja, aka Queen Naj. I am a 3-year senior from Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire. Thank you.
Have a good day.